Hi, my name is Sheila Willis of Impact Tourism, the developer of the History Check mobile app. Welcome to History Bytes, your daily dose of Alberta historical trivia. Brought to you in partnership with Belt Drive Betty Media and the Canadian Motorcycle Tourism Association. You can register to answer the questions for a shot to win prizes, or just take the quiz to satisfy your own brain power. Either way, we're excited to see how much of Alberta's history you really know. So yesterday's question was, which freighter and bootlegger used nuns to hide his contraband? Was it A, Baldy Red, B, Eyed Willy, or C, Jed Clampett? And the answer is Baldy Red, or by his given name, George Yeoman. He's buried at the Hythe Cemetery along with Ma Brainard, whom we talked about recently. Baldy was a freighter who seems to have covered just about every part of northwestern Alberta and left the stories behind him as he went. He was known as both a scamp and a scoundrel. According to the little printed book I found, Colorful Historic Pioneers of the Peace River by Muriel Osley, Baldy earned his nickname from his bald head, even though he had a fringe of red hair to go along with it and a hat to cover it all up. He was a good freighter, but he also had a penchant for his bootleg product. In a day when the amount of liquor coming into the area was strictly controlled, Baldy just supplemented. After all, a gallon or 6 bottles a month, which you could get a permit for, were just not enough, especially if it had to go around to paying customers. There are quite a few stories of Baldy's capers, but the most common is the nuns, and there are a few variations to that as well. Apparently, Baldy gave a ride to some nuns from Gerard to Peace River one winter. They were most likely going to the St. Augustine Mission along the Shaftesbury Trail. Instead of charging them for the trip, they were to bring the food and buy the feed for his team for the 90-mile journey. When he picked up the ladies in the morning, he had a place for them to sit, where he bundled them up with robes and got them as comfortable as possible. One would assume they didn't know they were sitting on 6 cases of contraband whiskey of 6 bottles each. And as Baldy reckoned, the officers were not likely to disturb the nuns, and they made the trip with no interference. A second version of the story is complete with nuns, but that they were going to work camps to raise funds for a hospital. In this version, Baldy would go about camp first to prepare the men for the nuns and their fundraising. The nuns were quite astounded at the generosity of these hard-working men. One has to wonder if they had a sample or two first. So Baldy is one of those guys whose exploits and escapades still filter down in the folklore of Alberta's Northwest today. There are many like him. So tomorrow's question is, was the area now known as Millwoods and Edmonton once A, an exclusive members-only game farm, B, the Papa's Chase Reserve, IR 136, or C, a Hutterite colony? Come back tomorrow to hear the answer and the story that goes along with it. Enjoy!